But man, he said people's pets are getting eaten. That's what got me. I said, I can't believe it. I was like, man, they're probably happy. He just said this, like, what the hell is he doing?
Bro,
and I was like,
eating them up
like that, like the gun laws. Like, even I don't underestimate my kids. I'm not saying that I don't trust my kids. My oldest daughter, I'm not saying I don't trust her, like, but I don't trust her all the way because I know you're still a kid and your mind's not developed.
As a parent, it's obvious. Lock your guns up. It shouldn't matter what age they are.
What's up, y'all? This is the Grind and Prosper podcast. So I got Joey and OT.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
And tonight, we're going to cover the real spiel, the debate with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. I just want to say what I saw. I seen a whole bunch of bull. Really, I didn't see anything that I liked. I didn't get any kind of questions answered. I really just seen who could piss further. Yeah. Say Kamala with her leg up pissed a little bit further. I think she had a good, not a good debate, but she had a good composure, and you could tell she had Donald Trump in a fit a little bit. But everybody expected that. I don't think it's like anything that was out of the ordinary. I don't think he lost any votes. He's not gonna like lose in the polls or anything like that. But yeah. I just really think it just didn't answer anything. But say, yeah, you can go ahead and say.
Yeah, shit. But first off, before I talk about that, R.I.P. to all the people that died in 9/11. But yeah, pretty much, man. It was a shit show. That was it. It was just like the snaps going back and forth. I mean, like I said, I thought it was a debate. It's supposed to be like, hey, you say something, and then okay, let me respond to that. And it really wasn't. It was just like they already. I mean, you could tell it was a script. They already had their script. They already knew what they were gonna be asked. I mean, I don't know about Trump, but I just felt like he got mad, and that fool he couldn't contain himself. You know what I mean? But she had a real good whoever helped her write her shit, because she did say something and I was like, hey, I heard that shit before. Like I heard that line. So I was like, oh yeah, that's her, you know what I mean? Her get down, with a lot of that shit. But yeah, they, it was funny. Most of all, I just kept laughing the whole time. Telling her, like, all right, it's my turn. He said some shit like that, but I'm like, yeah, that shit was pretty funny.
I really anticipated better. Like, I really did. I thought, like, this was something, I was looking forward to watching because you were going to get answers, but no one got answers. It's, we got pretty much everything else that we already knew, how they feel about each other or what they think of each other. I mean, at the end of the day, who likes who, or it just was just back and forth at the end of the day, and they both went around circles with the questions and then a straightforward answer. I mean, just certain things, with, if she was black, okay, just say, she's not black. Well, in my opinion, she's not black because of so on and so forth.
Yeah, because she was,
that because she's Indian.
The first Indian senator or some shit like that.
Before we even get into that, look, the first thing that I seen was that she walked in there and put her hand out and gave him the handshake. Like he didn't want to. Like at the end of it, they both said like fuck each other. You could tell they're both like fuck you. But at the beginning, she like went over to his podium, met him more than halfway, and was like, and put her hand out and like introduced herself and shook his hand. But
more professionalism.
Yeah, like more. No, well, really, it was kind of like letting her nuts hang, like asserting herself. That's what it felt like, because like I said, she met him more than halfway. So like I was paying attention to shit like that, like mannerisms, like anything they were doing, like faces they were making whenever they were both talking. Like her, like that's what I was seeing the whole time. She was like, oh my god, like I can't believe this motherfucker saying this. Like some of the shit he was saying was crazy.
But she also did good with. She was constantly staring him down and telling him, like, getting him looks like lying, like
an idiot. Nah, she's kind of like idiot.
Yeah, like she wants to make him feel,
And she's, and him, he was just, he wouldn't look at her. Most of the time, he would put his head down.
He was looking at David, whatever his name is, that guy. He's just looking at them.
I think that was his team though. Like I think they both got coached up pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like that's why I said we can go back to that. Like the race thing. Whenever I seen they asked him, they were like, well, why did you think it was important, or why did you bring up her race or anything like that? Like, do you think that's right? And he was like, well, I don't care. Like, it's whatever she wants to be. Yeah. And I think that was good. Like, whoever his PR is, like, they coached him good because he dodged the fuck out of it. Because if he would have kept on, I was like, man, they're going to call him all kinds of fucking racist and everything. And really, she didn't even answer it. Like, she didn't answer her heritage or anything like that. She didn't say, well, so-and-so's from here and they're from here. Like, it's not something that she has to explain. But, you know what I'm saying? Just clear it up. Fuck it. Like,
at this point, like you said, at this point, say it. Like, hey, look. This is what it is.
And fuck what he's talking about.
Because of this, and shut him up that way, or just you shut up yourself and don't say nothing. I mean, that's what I'm saying. To me, it's just real childish because it's everything we hear through the media, everything you hear through social media. It's like, okay, we want to hear it from y'all's mouths now. what's what. Because we know what everyone wants to hear. Everyone wants to hear the facts.
Yeah, and especially like I said, this isn't for people that already got a solid choice already in mind. This is for people that are on the fence about it, and they're like, they might go this way, they might go that way. And so to me, like, if I'm looking at this, it's like, why the fuck should I vote? I don't really like. They both kind of sound crazy a little bit right now.
Yeah, I mean the question though, bro, like. Think about it. Okay, we're thinking about, like, ask them a question about policy. What do you want to do? No, it's a question about race. Like, why is it about race, bro? Why aren't we talking about, hey, what do you plan to do about this? What do you plan to do about the school shooting? Like, I didn't hear none of that. Like, some shit. But like, most of them, like, why are you? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just like to dislike somebody.
They were talking about that's how they jumped it off, was just the economic policy. That's what they're like. Okay, what are you gonna do for this? They're like, well, I've talked to my experts and so and so, and that's what she said. And they said your plan is going to ruin the country and da da da. And he's like, well, I've talked to my people, and they said your plan is going to ruin the country. Yeah, so they neither one of them. Well, I think everybody knows what Donald Trump's going to do already. Like, they know about the corporate taxes and stuff like that. Like, he's going to give more break on taxes. Because to me, this is the way I feel like it works. Like, if they give these big companies breaks on taxes, it's going to stimulate the economy because they got more jobs to give out to people. Then you got more taxpayers in turn. Instead of taxing these companies, they're going to leave the fucking country, go spend that tax money somewhere else. And if anything, maybe they're able to, like, tax U.S. companies, their foreign money or their foreign assets coming in. Like, but it's still better off to have these U.S. people employed, like citizens employed, and then bringing in tax dollars here instead of to another country.
Right.
And I feel like that's what she's gonna. I feel like that's what she's gonna run off. She's gonna run off like big corporations. But that's what I'm saying. They did get on policy though. But no one just gave a straightforward answer. They were just.
And at the end of this, it's really to supply jobs for other people in other countries instead of their own people.
Yeah.
That's just what it comes down to, because those leaders over there, that's what they want. Hey, now y'all come over here so we give our people jobs. We're a poor country.
Yeah.
Y'all don't need the money. We're a poor, I mean, I think that's what it just comes down to, because, I mean, it's cheaper for y'all. We won't tax y'all that much. That's cheap labor. And both ends win, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everyone else loses. We lose because, jobs are over there. Like you said, taxes are getting paid over there, not here.
Yeah, see, they did that. And then another big one was the abortion. The abortion, he never answered yes or no if he would veto a nationwide abortion ban. But I don't know if it was just because he didn't want to piss off conservative people. Like, he was like, I'm not going to have an audio clip of me saying that or recording of me saying that. Like, y'all aren't going to get me to say it. I feel like that's why he was just like, well, it's never going to happen. Like, that's basically what he said. It's never going to happen because it's at the state level. The states are going to decide now. And so, I don't know. It was just weird about that. And I don't know. Like, her, of course, that was a given to her. Like, she's a female. She's like, you don't tell a female what to do with her body, but it was.
Yeah, you won all the women with that.
That was just so touchy. It's just hard because, like, he was like, well, with the stipulations on it, like, okay, like incest, rape. I forgot what else he said. There was like 3 or 4 things, but he was like, they're like, these women are having to carry these babies to term, which I think that's fucked up too. You know what I'm saying? Like, a guy's wife is having a miscarriage and then she still has to have the baby. Like, it's already traumatic enough. So I'm just like, damn. So there should be shit like that in there. I feel like they need to hurry and get stuff like that, because I don't think the states should be able to allow that part. I don't know. It's just a touchy subject because, like I said, we're not even women either. But I'm just saying, just like a moral thing. This is a moral thing. That's, I don't know. But Roe versus Wade has been happening since like the 70s or something.
Correct.
So that's already been a long time in the making. It's just crazy that even got overturned too.
Yeah, something like that. I'd say like rape, incest, shit like that. Like, should be like automatic.
And if they're in the drug,
that too.
Say even with the mother, that's carrying the baby, there's stories where they're on drugs, the whole time.
Yeah, and this baby's gonna come out.
Yeah, see, and that's what I said. Shit like that, bro. It's like,
but another thing she did have a point on is that he did get 3 of the justices in there that overturned Roe versus Wade, because as president, he got to pick them and like appoint those justices. So like, that is still on his track record that he did get that undone. So I don't know. I feel like that is kind of like a blow, like, against him, just because he did do that. Like female voters, I'd say, that aren't conservative, like people that are on the fence and liberal. He definitely I'm pretty sure lost him with that because, like, yeah, you did.
The younger, because he's also already has a painted picture of he don't like women and in their rights.
He got a bad guy already.
He got to.
Man, he's not running off of like being a fucking good guy, like or faking to be a good guy. He's like, yeah, whatever, fuck them. Like they don't like me, like it's because of this, because they're assholes. Like in the way he talks, like nobody likes the way he delivers his shit.
Yeah,
but. Like I said, if it is just like David was saying, like if you do have to pick one or the other, like I don't know, like I wouldn't. This is a business owner, like from a business standpoint, I wouldn't pick her because that's gonna hurt my bottom dollar anyways. Yeah. Like
I'm not like one of those people that's like Trump was sent here by God. No, but if you've got to pick, at least some of the shit he says makes sense. The people that vote that way, they basically do it based off I'm gay, I feel like I'm oppressed, I want to be able to have any baby ripped out of me at any goddamn given moment, and it is insane to me that you vote for everything we do based off like one issue.
And it's gonna like then maybe people that work for me, then I'll have to lay them off. You know what I'm saying? Like and then you have to get in there and do it yourself, like because you can't afford to because taxes are so high. Like what are you gonna do? Because then you're paying this 15% more of your money. You're paying it to the government. That's just from my standpoint. And if he does the thing like he said, the overtime stuff. I don't know what was he talking about the overtime not taxing it because that's when you lose the most money. Everybody knows when you're working a job. Yeah. Everybody's like don't work the extra hours. Like only get so much and don't get too much because then you're gonna get taxed and it's all taxes. So
believe me, I know all about that.
Yeah, that's what I remember whenever I was working like shift work. They were like, man, don't do the third day. They're like the third day is all taxes. They're like you're gonna do 12 hours and make all your money and then pay all that to taxes. So they're like just get you one day and you're good. That's most likely yours. That's the main things. And then how she shifted her policies, like her stance on policies, how like defunding the cops. And then
the gun shit.
The gun thing. Yeah, she's like, no one's gonna take your guns, but everybody knows it's like a liberal thing. Like they want to take assault rifles and stuff.
Well, because she said in a clip like, we're gonna do a buyback, mandatory. Everybody like what? And that's why I was like, hold on, but
because I mean that they already have those other people already have them in their pocket about when you become president. You're going to sign this law, or this is what we're going to do. I mean, it's just
look, just on the same subject.
Plans but already set out.
Look, this was crazy. Someone sent me a clip, and it was like actually a half-ass like decent idea. Like they were like get insurance on guns, like because they were like, okay, well you need a insurance to drive your car. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're like, okay, you can't let anybody just use your car because you got insurance on it. That goes on you. If someone uses your gun to go do something, the insurance company's gonna be like, hell no, like who's around your gun, who can get your gun, like, well, it's like, it does take a freedom away. To me, it sounds crazy though, like, cause you're registering all your guns and letting them know what kind of guns you have and everything, and then the insurance companies. But then again, if it gets stolen, you can claim it, they know it's stolen, and then you get your money back, cause, you know what I'm saying, like now if you get your gun stolen, you're just shit out of luck, and you reported it stolen, that's it. But then people are gonna think twice about, like who the fuck they give their gun to, or like if giving their gun to their kids, because people still do let their kids drive their cars and shit, of course. Correct. So they're still gonna be dumbasses. And then another thing I was thinking is that the bad people are still gonna get guns because there's motherfuckers that drive without insurance all the time still. Yeah. So I almost thought like in my head I was thinking like, okay, well maybe that might be a good idea. You know what I mean? Like it sounds good, like legit at first. Like you think like, yeah, maybe it could work, but then you're like, damn. Then all these people that are following the process, following the rules and everything, you're just registering their shit and kind of giving up freedoms for these motherfuckers that are still not going to follow the law anyways, and they're just going to have a gun regardless and keep it on them and kill somebody or just do something. So I just like, I don't know, to me that was a good idea that I thought I heard, but then it's just too touchy of a subject. Like, nah, but I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Like the gun laws, like that's, I don't know. That was just a half-ass decent idea.
And it's a lot. I mean, like I said, a lot of that has to stem with like, who you let around or where you have your guns. If your guns are out and your kids or whoever, like take for instance, the Georgia kid, you know what I mean? At the school shooting and shit like that. I've seen the video where the dad comes out and he's all like talking to the cops. And that was about a threat he made like 2-3 months before about shooting up a school. And then his dad, he kind of sounded like he was a little buzzed and shit, because he was just like, oh, I'm gonna be pissed if he really did this, like, because it's the cop video cam that they showed, and he's sitting there talking, he shot a deer, his first deer the other day, and blah blah blah, like,
oh, like they're target practicing and shit.
Yeah, like,
man, that just happened here.
And he was saying that his guns were in reach for his kid can reach them. He's like, but if that's true, I'm gonna keep the guns away from him. But then later on, that's whenever he bought
He
him
went
an
and
AR.
did it. Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
he bought him an AR. Like, so the story is that he bought him the AR, bro.
Man,
and that's what he took to kill them kids.
But that's another thing, bro. That's just like parents, and that's not you taking it serious.
Exactly.
Like you're underestimating your
That's what I'm
kid.
saying.
Like even I don't underestimate my kids. I'm not saying that I don't trust my kids. Like, cause like my oldest daughter, I'm not saying I don't trust her. Like, but I don't trust her all the way because I know you're still a kid and you're not. Your mind's not developed.
Yeah,
So
you can't put it past.
you're gonna fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be like, well, fuck. Cause everybody had to learn from mistakes, but you just don't want it to be a mistake that's fucking like way too far like that. So.
Yeah.
That should have been him like preventing it, especially if they came to him like that and talked to him.
Yeah.
Like that was already fucking more than enough. That
yeah,
would
more than enough. Yeah.
Like, that's not
that's
being a
negligence.
good-
That's what I'm saying.
There
Like
you
that's
go.
why I think it's all right that they do get charged whenever they come to you like that. Then it's
hell
okay.
yeah.
Then fuck it. Then you know what I'm saying.
Fuck
like
yeah, and that fool did get charged too. They're like, fuck it.
Now,
homie.
believe me, kids do get guns in the street still, without their parents' consent, without their parents' knowledge.
Hell yeah.
But that's not the case with that. And like you said, to me, in my opinion, it's obvious. As a parent, it's obvious. Lock your guns up.
yeah.
Lock your fucking gun. It shouldn't matter what age they are. You know what I'm saying? To the age that where and where actually they can make the conscious decision as an adult and say like, nah, you could be around my guns or I trust you now. But up until them when they're an actual adult, and everyone knows their kids. As a parent, you should know your kid. You should know when to take him serious, what he's about, his demeanor and everything.
man, you know what's crazy? I was just thinking about. Okay, like that's what I was gonna say is like teenagers will be acting out of emotion and shit, and I was like, man, what if that's crazy as shit that is like has to do with the food that it gets these fucking young boys high ass fucking estrogen levels. So they're like, fuck this shit, and they just make a crazy ass decision like in their fucking head because their fucking hormones are so off. They're like, man, I'm gonna go fucking shoot these fucking kids. Like, and I was like, it might be some crazy shit. Could be the fucking food, all the way back to the food. Like, causing them too much estrogen, making female decisions. Like,
Decisions.
That's what I call it. It's like, I'm not saying, well, most females, a female will go off and be like, well, I was just mad at you. And then they done killed some kids and shit, and they're like, I was just mad.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I'm like, that's why I was like, it could be even deeper than that. Say shit.
Fuck yeah, man. That really deeper than that. Fuck. Pops was just I think Pop just probably let him do what the fuck he want.
And
You know what I mean? Like,
that was going to be
shit.
my second point. And other than that, man, that's a parent's job to be in your kid's business.
Fuck
Know
yeah.
what they got going on, and I mean he should know his kid has shit going on.
Yeah.
Mentally, as a parent, if you're in your kid's life, and he lives with you, and you're going to know. I mean, you should know as a parent. You need to be in your kid's business. What they got
Fuck
going
yeah.
on.
I mean, he could be just one of them dads that, oh, fuck, all right, just go play
Yeah.
your video. Yeah, all right.
All right,
see.
son. Yeah, all right. See ya.
Yeah, don't even really talk to him. Just like, all right, dinner served.
He
All right.
comes in and now, and he's just.
He's like, oh, make some hot pockets.
Hey,
I'm going.
And then if you said he was drunk too, he was probably like, fuck
Bro,
it.
he sounded a little, because I'm like, bro, you're talking way too much to like, and I think they said they were FBI agents. So it was like, fool, I don't know. He just like, when a drunk guy or when a guy's buzzed, they just, and then just kept on and kept on. And I'm just like, fool, I just felt like you're giving them so much information, fool, out of that video.
Yeah.
They gave them so much. And I think that's why because they're like, nah, hold up, look at this video. And you're just, acting like, oh, you're upset, but you really don't. Fuck them kids.
No, look, this is another thing. Man, I don't know what the hell. Okay, because Donald Trump, he kept on going back to the fucking border policy. And I understand it's a big fucking thing. Like, yeah. But man, he said the fucking people's pets are getting eaten. That's what fucking got me. I said, gosh. I said, I can't believe it. I said,
That was his answer.
I know. I was like, no. I was like, man. I said, I was like, man, they're probably fucking happy. He just said this. Like, what the hell is he doing?
Bro,
I was
they
like,
eating them up. They're eating them up on the internet.
bro, that is crazy. I'm like in a fucking debate. I was like, man, like that's why I'm like, bro. I'm like, I was expecting this debate to be like something like fucking historic or something. Like I was like, man, this is gonna be fucking
Exactly,
crazy. Like they're about to come with their best shit. And I'm like, no, this motherfucker did not just say this. Like I said, I knew they were gonna talk shit to each other. I said, but man, fucking pets. I was like getting eaten. I was like. But that was another thing that's like been in the news is the Venezuelan gang thing. So I'm like, man, like if he like straight up just said that in front of the whole country, and then there's still people out there that are gullible, they're gonna believe it. So I'm like, man, like you cannot, like you can, See, because I'm wrong still too for saying that, because I don't believe in the censorship too on YouTube, because I'm like, man, you can't say that in front of the country. But I'm just like, man, like, come on, like you're almost like this close to being fucking president, like, and you're gonna talk about fucking people's pets getting eaten. I'm like, no.
Yeah. And which he's not necessarily lying, but like you said, when he said that automatically people think it's Venezuelans. But if you look into it and you research it, it is happening in Ohio, and people in the neighborhoods and people that they're talking to are saying, they had a city council meeting about it, and on the August 27th, and the guys telling him, it's like, y'all need to do something. It's like, there's people, a guy walked up and grabbed a duck and cut its head off and took it home to cook it.
They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like,
he's like,
the Haitians.
Yeah,
what? Not even that, bro. They believe in voodoo and stuff.
Yeah,
so they're
and so people are, and then there's another, there's other people are saying, like, yes, they believe in voodoo, sacrificing animals, and so they're Haitians. So, but like I said, he didn't specify. Like you said, he just said immigrants.
And it's like a fear mongering thing.
And then right now, everyone, like you said, everyone's immigrants. The first thing thinks Venezuelans. Last time it was Mexicans.
Yeah.
This time's Venezuelans and Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? But
a lot of them
mainly is Venezuelans right now. Everyone, like you said, everyone got Venezuelans in their head. So, and that is what's majority's coming over here lately.
And to me, bro, that's like the old school way. Like, that's like an old school way of thinking, is like to like scare people, like, and then especially like make it good. If you're gonna fucking make like some propaganda, like, to get elected, make it fucking good. Like, don't, come on. I was like, man, the animals and I feel like his team is pushing the Venezuelan gang thing now, like, because he said that. I'm like,
because it makes the other party look bad.
But they just go hand in hand.
Allowing it.
You know exactly.
So it makes them, because everyone knows they have the open borders. They have the open borders. They're allowing these people come here. They're giving them a check, giving them housing, giving them food, and for the people that don't know, in Venezuela, I mean, all of them, they're barely making it over there with food and money. So when they get here, just imagine here, they're rich right now.
Yeah, they're like, this is a luxury.
And that's why they're living the way they are here. They're acting the ass.
Yeah, they got hyperinflation. They don't got just regular inflation. They got hyperinflation.
Money
and they don't know how to act. It's one of those when people get their income tax, motherfuckers don't know how to act. They out there buying, partying all the time.
Yeah.
So, and that's just how they are right now. And not to excuse the shit that they do, like the trash they leave just the chaos that they're causing.
It's crazy because this has happened before. Like, even my dad said, like, my dad's old enough, he said about the Cubans coming here. Yeah, like, he said, whenever Cubans first came here, like, they pushed all their prisoners and all their, like, rejects pretty much. They sent them all here, their worst that they could send. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how happened to Scarface. And he was like, man, they were fucking pretty, like, wild. Like, they'd, like, be stabbing people, like, fucking people up because they're thinking it's, like, back home, like. And it's not like that here. Like, you can't, like, nah, you can't just be fucking like trying to stab people here. Like, you're gonna get your ass in trouble here.
You're correct.
But that's why I feel like maybe like it's happening like that. If anything, like, people are like thinking it's like home and they could just get away with certain shit like that. But it's not. Like, they don't understand the laws here. Fuck you up and rough you up and shoot you and kill you.
And well, not only that, but to them, like, hey, well, the government's the one allowing us to come here. They're the ones giving us some money. So why we gonna get, we ain't gonna get in trouble.
Yeah,
and that's not necessarily true. And it's all I say. I mean, that's what, like, and it's not Venezuelans, man. I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, a lot of people don't realize that it's Mexicans, Venezuelans, Chinese, Russians, Japanese, like, whoever could get over here,
anybody,
illegally, because they know it's open borders. They know you're going to get funded.
But you know what? I feel like it's fucked up if it is true, and I think it is. I'm not for sure. But you know how she said that he called people that were in Congress to not let their border plan go through. I think that was true. I think that really did happen, because he was like, fuck that. Like, why am I gonna let them fucking take the credit? Like, I've been trying to do it. Like, they're trying to do it for votes now. But either way, it should happen. You know what I'm saying? If they're looking for the best interest of the country, I think that's fucked up. If he's not letting them do it, even though they're trying to do it just for votes, like, it's not their actual real policy or something they believe in. Like, I think he did stop it from happening. Like, he called people in there and like, nah, fuck that. Like, don't agree to it. Yeah, like, basically he did. And I think that's fucked up that he did that. And like I said, I am pretty sure that he did do that, because this was like I think this was like the last semester I was in school. It was like around May or something. I think he did that, and we were like, that was just in the news at the time.
I mean, there is a border problem, but it's a problem because they're giving funds away also, and
yeah, you come here, you're gonna get paid. That's what they think. It's like,
and not only that, man, it really is easier for other people that are our enemies to get in. There was a story. These Chinese nationals got pulled over in Texas, and they had over $250,000 worth of gold on them.
Shit, I think it was even more than that. The gold bars,
like in the mills.
Yeah, they were in the millions. And then here in Henrietta, there's been
weird.
Chinese nationals caught with fucking millions, like in cash.
Yeah,
but it's just weird how they caught
and
that
transferring.
Shit. Like they said, the dog hit on the door.
They got pulled over.
They'd been
twice.
following him.
They got
from
pulled
Georgia
over
or
twice.
something.
They got pulled over somewhere in like the Georgia area. Then they got pulled over in Texas.
Yeah, the rental cars, they were like, okay, well, watch where are these people at. Then they swapped cars. They were like, well, they just swapped cars. They were like, all right, so be on the lookout for them. And then boom, they got popped in Texas again with the gold bars.
But to go along with them buying up land,
yeah,
you know, I mean, something's going on. You know, and those Chinese nationals, nothing ever happens to them. You know,
because they go and they're back home.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, I mean, it's they don't stick around. They get in trouble. They ain't like everyone else. You know, they ain't gonna stick around. So they just fucking then just start no.
Because they said they didn't know English at all.
Because they're here to do a job.
Yeah,
they literally came here just to do a job.
Yep.
Then another thing too, they said there was like some aide to maybe a governor or someone that was in office in New York. It was a Asian lady, and she was like having her push off like propaganda. I don't know if she was a spy, but she was like making them like the Chinese government was calling her and was like, hey, can you have her say this and this and this, so that way people would hear it over there, and I think they'd put it in their news, and then people that are like Chinese nationals here would hear it, and it's just like basically the politician was spitting out propaganda for the Chinese government, like unknowingly, because her aide was kind of telling her to do it. But she got in trouble. Like she got a case with the Department of Justice for it because they finally figured it out. Like she got invited to like some Chinese government party.
It's that same chick because they were reading something. They were saying that they're calling her a spy for the Chinese government. They're like, how the fuck is she in our government?
Yeah, she's in government here, like, and then she's going back and forth, like able to fly back and forth. But they picked it up, and they're like, yeah, this is her in the picture next to the Chinese president at this party. And I'm like, damn, like this is so like crazy. Like the shit is like deep as hell. Like it's just wild to me, like the people wait that long, and even like stuff like that, even like 9/11, whenever all that stuff happened. Mm-hmm. All those people were here. The guys that were training, they got trained here, like by courses, like in the U.S. how to fly. They were in school. Like some of the guys that were like
shit, probably came to Shepherd.
No, where was it? It was where were they at? No, they went to Arizona, I think. Arizona. They're in Arizona, and they had like a simulation there, and it was a guy. He like came out and finally like telling his story. Like he trained them. Yeah. And he said he just thought it was weird because you got to have so many hours already on an airplane flying to even get in the class. And they were like, they're like, you got to know English really good because it's the international language for flying. They're like, the guy barely knew English. He's like, it was shitty English. He was like, and then it was like he just got enough hours and really didn't know how to fly too good. So they were like, they don't know where he really got his hours. And fucking, they reported it and everything, and fucking, like, they still made it through. It's because the FAA and the Department of Justice like weren't communicating on that stuff, so like it kind of just slipped through the cracks. Then that was the guy that hijacked the plane.
And then especially in that time, it was 2001.
Yeah, it was like people. That's crazy though. Like that shit. It's crazy though that changed. Like I feel like this shit is gonna happen. Like if something happens with the border and them letting people in like that, and some crazy shit like that happens, and it's gonna change, like just like 9/11, like just how like we are at the airport now. You got to take your fucking shoes off and shit, go through X-rays, like. And I've never even.
You can opt out at the X-ray. You can tell them, hey,
shit, they'll probably get you a fucking frisk.
They'll pat you down. They'll have to pat you down, but you can tell them.
No,
like,
they'll just pat you down.
Yeah, they're gonna. They're about to finger you or something.
They're like, hey, go ahead, dog. Do your thing.
Hey, they're gonna be like, all right. They're gonna
use the back of my hand on your
Hey, they're like, don't look at me in my eye. No, but that's what I feel like. I don't know if something like that happens, it's gonna just change. It's gonna change like the way people live forever.
But yeah, shit like that always does. Hell.
But let's hope shit like that don't happen. But it's a risk that we're taking as a country to. I mean, at this point, you know what I'm saying? At this point, because to where it's gotten, and it's only because the open border policy.
Yeah.
Like I said before, everyone knows, you know, illegal, you know, majority were Mexicans, you know, that's how we're first generation, you know, but times has changed since then. It's honestly not, everyone's not over here for the right reasons, the proper reasons.
Yeah.
And right now it's even more of the people that are here for the wrong reasons are the ones taking advantage of the open border policy.
Yeah, because that's what I feel like used to be the thing, like, is come over here, make your money, send it back home, and then go back home after you're done, after you done work.
Yeah.
And then you could chill back at home, like you got retirement money now.
Yeah.
But now that's what they said. These people are talking about all of the benefits that they're going to get and like how easy it's going to be. Like it's going to be way better compared to where they're coming from. And even I'm sure Mexicans thought that back then. Like, of course, like they're going to get paid way more here for working, but they came here to work.
Yeah.
But to them, hell, shit, that's more than what they get paid at home.
Just like the cartels right now fighting for territory in Ojinaga for that reason, for migrants. You know, they got to know something's going on. They're also fighting down in Guatemala at the border down there for the same reason.
Damn.
For routes. And this is Sinaloa cartel's the one taking on the attacks or going on the attack.
See, and I feel like all that stuff ties in too right now. Like all of them turning each other in. That's all election year. Like you need a gift. Like you got to have a gift for the administration. And they're like, all right, boom, we got this person, this person.
We need this to happen before elections so that it makes us look good. You know,
who was it? Like Obama had Osama bin Laden, and then what'd you call it? Then Trump? Was that El Chapo? Was Trump whenever they got El Chapo extradited? I think it might have been. I think it might have been.
Begin.
Yeah, at the like
beginning,
yeah, and then now they got, since that one, now they got fucking El Chapo's sons, and it's under the Biden administration. Mm-hmm. So it's like everybody got these gifts and stuff, and it's
and
just,
El Mayo.
But it's crazy though. Like I feel like we're spoiled, like as Americans, because that shit destabilizes people's whole fucking countries. Like Mexico's like fucking, it's already unstable and stuff. Like they know the cartels have power there, but like right now they know they're gonna make a fucking power vacuum. Like people are about to go crazy all over the fucking country and like be fighting guns, and like innocent people get killed. I'm sure.
Yeah, there's seriously cartel wars going on in the South, North, Central, everywhere right now.
And I'm pretty sure it's all because of that. The election year is coming up. Like our politics has a lot to do. Like it makes their money fluctuate, and like just everything just goes hand in hand. And then just like corrupt Mexican officials, and who's to say that there's not even corrupt like U.S. officials? Like
oh yeah, there is. I mean,
it's just they can't get outed pretty much. Like
yeah.
I feel like even they got damn near, like the El Mayo was like damn near about to do it to the Mexican officials, and then they were like, all right, we want fucking treason charges against this guy for taking him over there.
Yeah. But that's what El Mayo wrote them a letter, put out a letter and said, a statement said, if y'all don't allow my sons to take over, like peacefully, to take over the operations and continue running the operations, there will be repercussions that I'm gonna put out dirt on y'all. I'm gonna put out everything I know, y'all secrets, corrupt officials, corrupt policemen. He said all that, and that's why right now they're even going at war with Los Chapitos because of territory, and the cops are supposed to be helping them. Yeah, because
find them and like get them out of there. Yeah, I seen that
because they're supposed to help his and my sons clear them out of there and help his sons take over. You know, and if not, then he's going to put stuff out on them. So that's why I say it's not just cartels. It's also when it's cartels, it comes along with there's people that are in the military there that are fighting with along with the cartel and police departments. So it gets crazy.
Yeah,
it gets real crazy. And just for that, I mean, the migrants, they gotta know something's coming up. I mean, if one cartel's moving in on their cartel. Just for that, that reason is because they know it's a lot of money. They know what's to come from it.
Yeah, because I think it was 2011. I was reading some shit that Sinaloa was beefing over there. They found like a mass grave, like 11 people trying to get over and shit. But then that's why I was like, yeah, they're fighting over that little route, you know, for the smuggling people and shit.
Well, La Lina's been having that route for a while now.
Yeah,
they came out of part of this, and then now Sinaloa cartel is moving in on them.
Man, this was crazy. I'll be reading this dude. His name is Luis Chaparro. That's the one I'll be reading is like news. He does like independent journalism, but he sells his story to like Vice and like all the people that'll post like stuff about the cartel news. And he like it's crazy. He was even there whenever El Chapo, something like when they raided it, the army raided it and stuff. He went in the house like right after and was in there with the camera and everything. Like they're like, man, you could have got killed. But I seen him on a podcast and that's why I read his news and like most of his shit is like spot on. Like before, like he's like fucking. Been like a year and a half or like 2 years ahead of like the mainstream media. Yeah. Like then like he comes out with all this stuff and then the mainstream media will start saying it later on.
Yeah, I'm sure he makes money off it now.
Yeah, bro. Like I've seen some crazy shit. Like they try to make they made the whole fucking city buy their internet. Man, it was so fucked up.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was like steel pipes,
happened.
Bro. Like
the pipes.
You seen the wires just coming down,
like old school, like just wires going everywhere and metal bob wires and all kinds.
Hey, they made their own network, bro. It was fucking terrible.
And they said if y'all want internet, y'all have to buy this internet.
Yes,
they hijacked the internet pretty much.
And they said it was shittier than the fucking original internet
because they're using all the shit.
Bro, that's like fucked up. But
to me, when it comes to that, just to speak on that, when it comes to that, man, it is fucked up. It is bullshit. You know, because we have people and family, you know, in Mexico, and that's just like that could be any one of our family members getting extorted or getting killed, which we've had family members get killed, but you know, for shit behind the cartel. But it's scary to think, man. It's like, and it's fucked up. The cartels that do go in there and fuck with little villages or towns just because like that, like, you know, want to charge them for internet just because you can make money off them when they're already making money. But there is other cartels that don't tolerate that shit. They're, you know, they will get out there and they will get rid of those people, or they're the ones that will take care of the people or the villages and try to keep it peaceful.
Yeah.
Like Ojinaga's always been peaceful. Like you never hear anything, you know, going on. Because everyone's like, hey, we're allowed to work here. They're allowing us. Ain't no one giving us no trouble. We ain't gonna give y'all no trouble.
Yeah, bro. It's like how I was saying about policing. Like, because they're basically the police over there. So you got to know your neighborhood and your people and stuff like that. So I feel like if it's good policing, then it's going to be good. But if you're an asshole to the people, then shit. Then that's where you have the wars and shit like that. And people are like, fuck that. Like, well, we'll decide with these people or something. Like, I feel like that's what happens.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people I think get confused. That really don't know. They think all cartels are just out there killing innocent people. Now, when they go to war,
you gotta get the fuck out the way.
They're out there killing innocent people, and right now everyone is just locked up in their houses. They know better.
That's what I'm saying. That's like whenever we were there too. Like everybody says, like don't drive after a certain time. Like most of the people already know like the rules and shit. Like. And it's fucked up. You got to live by rules like that. But they know, like, if you're out at this time, then you're up to no good. It's like,
you're out.
You're asking for trouble,
partying and shit, like doing something.
And again, that's what a lot of people don't understand that are from here or never been able to go to other countries with certain regulations that you don't even know. You know, a lot of people are like, well, I go to Mexico all the time, you know, like, but they go to a resort.
You go to all those places.
And which, of course, like, people
Mexico,
don't know, but
I mean,
resorts are all owned by cartels. So they want it peaceful there because it makes them money. So they're not going to act the ass, and they're not going to do anything near the resorts because they lose business. They scare people off. And
it's the golden goose, man.
I mean, things have happened, don't get me wrong, but.
Look. I forgot like another thing about the debate. Back to the debate thing. She brought up all his felonies and stuff. Like I don't know, it's fucked up. Like I felt like she just waited like to throw that. Like it was like like a jab. Like it was like a fucking she did. She like stabbed him in the fucking gut. She's like 40. She's like 45 felonies. But that brings up another thing though. If these justices that he put in, he did put 3 of the justices in. So of course they're gonna look out for him. So they said if he gets elected, then he's basically like free and clear, you know what I'm saying? Like of all charges and everything. But that's kind of crazy though, because like that's what I brought up a long time ago, is that this is gonna be like a crazy ass deal because it's fucked up the way they brought the cases against him. Like they weaponized the government system, like the FBI and stuff like that, and the whole judicial system. They just did everything fucked up and used it against him, and he got these charges. But now, if they're saying that he's gonna get these charges, like he's free and clear, and he's kind of like above the law, like pretty much, like that's what people are gonna think. Like, well, he can do it. Like, why can't I? So you know what I'm saying? He done went above the Constitution.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that's what I think is gonna be a big fucking deal. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Like
It will.
people
Yeah.
might act up about that. Like
Hell yeah, they really gonna want to kill that motherfucker.
yeah,
So-
like I don't know. I feel like some people will hate him. Like his followers would be like, well, shit, it was weaponized against him. But I don't know. It's just like a tricky situation. But they said what he said when the microphones were off on the Wall Street Journal. They were like, see what they said whenever the mics cut off. And he was like, she's the one who weaponized the system against me. And so he probably hates her, bro. Like now I think about it, because they didn't shake hands again. I was like, he probably does believe that. And maybe she did. Maybe she was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Because if Biden hasn't been running everything, then someone has to. And she does seem kind of. Doesn't she get like balls? Like she got balls. Like
everyone knows, women are scary when they're fucking in power, especially when they're in power.
And a motherfucker like that like the grab her by the pussy shit and all that crazy shit, bro. They're like, oh yeah, she probably like shit probably just runs through her head.
Yeah, she's like, fuck this. Oh, I hate this.
Yeah, he's like women. He's like the motherfucker hates women. He's like, I'm gonna fucking get him. She was probably waiting to jab him. Like,
Man. Yeah, he didn't look so good up there. I mean, neither did she, but like you said, she talked.
it was her composure. Like she just like
everything
like
all
chest
around.
out.
She was like a preacher. I was like, man, she
She
grew up in church.
could have easily convinced a lot of people just because the way she talked, very intellectual and intelligent and everything. Like she knew what to say, how to say stuff, but she wasn't answering as far as just like him. I think when they were asking the questions, and they kept saying, but Trump either answered the question, they knew they were getting frustrated because they knew he was being coached. They knew he was being told what to say and what not to say and how to say it, on both ends. But she made it look more easy, like because she's been there before, she's done it before.
Yeah, because they
not,
also
and not just a couple of times like he has. She's done it most of her career.
They also said too. They also fact checked him, but they never fact checked her. If you go back, bro, like they never fact check her. Like, oh, this, like when she's lying,
like in the questions,
yeah, like the whole time they fact checked him. Like, oh, but this, and it was like,
I said
what the fuck? Like,
the only thing they did was like about her stance, because they tried to go back to it, but I don't feel like they grilled her about it. Like they were kind of like grilling him. They were just like letting up on her. But that's another thing I wanted to say too, is like that was like ABC was like a left leaning media, like. So they were already kind of like saying that she won. And to me, like how you're saying, like she talked real nice. Like, of course, it sounds real good. Like she sounds well educated. But to me, it was like a whole bunch of empty ass
gibberish.
Yeah, like bullshit. Like it sounds good. Like really good.
That's,
like
they'll say the people that don't really know, like she convinced a lot of people, like, oh wow, oh yeah, she won. She's
smart.
And then you got Trump, like they're eating dogs, like you're eating dogs and cats. I mean, people are. So it's like it's just dude.
Like JD Vance, he sounded better. Like after I was like, damn, that motherfucker. Like they said October 1st or something, or October 5th. One of them dates was the vice president debate. I was like, I'll be waiting to see
Vance
him. Because I seen Walls and I seen Vance. Walls, yeah, I think he's gonna get in his ass because
Vance. I don't know if you ever heard him talk.
Yeah, he was
that
like,
motherfucker don't. Yeah, and he's about that.
You think he was from Houston?
snappy,
He
bro.
freestyles.
No, he's quick with it, and that fool snap back,
bro. He was like
at
snapping on
whoever.
because you got to remember, like I said, they're on the left
He'll
leaning
call
news.
you out quick.
And so he was like, to me, it's just a bunch of no substance to it. Like she makes it look good, like exactly like what I've seen. Like he basically like that is a person. I was like, oh yeah, like that's exactly the way I was feeling. Like you said exactly the way I was feeling. Like and just like that, like
he's ex-Marine. I'm telling you, man. That every time I hear him talk, that's how he is. He's just. I don't know if y'all watched his interview. I watched his interview a couple weeks ago, and oh yeah, he's slick with it.
Yeah,
and to me, like he got the story too. I feel like that's why it balances Trump out too, because she went to say that Trump was like a crybaby millionaire that got handed $400 million and this and that and went bankrupt this many times. But he's like actually got it out the mud, middle class dude, earned everything he got, and motherfucker educated himself, and he's smart as fuck. And like that's what I'm saying. Like he snapped. Like whenever after the deal, they're like, well, what would you say? How did she do? And he's like, oh, I love that Tim Walz, whatever. He's like, oh, I love it. She did great. I'm ready for another debate. Like let's do another one. And like, which I don't think she necessarily won, but I say, hey, like fuck it. There's gonna be another one.
She
hopefully,
and I guess in our eyes, she didn't necessarily win. She didn't win, but in a lot of other people's eyes that don't really understand her, like I said, she easily convinced them because of the way.
Well, they asked her about Putin. They're like, "Have you ever met Putin, bro?" She never said
yeah.
nothing. Like
She
she
never-
just brought up Zelensky, whatever the hell his name is.
Zelensky.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah, I talked to Zelensky," and I was like, "Hold on,
Yeah,
bitch."
I met her
They asked
plenty
Putin.
times.
They asked about
No,
Putin.
Because
no.
he said that they
all
met up, and that she was the
Yeah,
like the
she's the mediator. Yeah,
mediator.
They said 3 days later he invaded
the
the
war,
Ukraine,
yeah.
but she didn't say that she. It was weird.
Yeah,
that one was weird.
Like she didn't say, no, I did not meet with Putin, but I met with, she.
That was weird, bro. That was
She
really
said,
weird
yeah,
to me.
I met with him, but she didn't say Putin.
And then she said Zelensky. Yeah, it was Zelensky. And I was like, hold on. They asked about Putin. And then they did. That's why I was like, why aren't y'all telling her? Like, no, we asked about Putin. Because they were like,
He was saying basically like her whatever her tactics were just weak as fuck. Basically, that's what Trump was getting at. Like
Even-
whatever you
even-
did was weak.
Even Trump should even ask her like, okay, but didn't you meet with Putin too? Like, wasn't Putin there
Yeah.
with y'all?
that's it.
I felt like that, like he was playing chess. Like he was just like, "Fuck it," like I got it already. And, like, cause that to me, bro, was super weird. Like she was like, he said everything like and kind of like gave it like factual. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, you met with both of them. And whatever the fuck, he's like, you're not that good at negotiating because whatever the fuck you did 3 days later,
Bam.
like, and he said it, and like, I was
war
like,
started.
damn, like, damn, if that's true, like, what the fuck did you do? Like, you were like, okay, well, we're gonna put our missiles here, and they're gonna become part of NATO, because like, even that thing, like, that'd be like someone having Mexico join them, and they're like, okay, but we're gonna make them part of our alliance. It'd be like if Russia doing that with Mexico, and they'd be like, we'll have missiles right here pointed at you just in case you act up. Like, no, of course you don't want nobody surrounding you. Like, you're getting closer and closer and closer, like boxing them in. Like, they should have. That's the U.S.'s fault, really. They should have not even tried to have the Ukraine even join NATO, because really that's what the whole thing's about.
Yeah, for sure. And I think everyone knows that by now. If you don't, then do your research. But yeah, and Russia's like, oh hell no, because
I'm saying anybody would feel like that. Like there's nobody could say like nobody wants any
because that land was once Russia, so Russia's like hell no.
hell yeah.
And
they're like might as well
and
take
NATO,
it then. They're like might as well take it back. Like fuck it if y'all are gonna act like that.
And not only that, but they know it's more of a threat. Russia knows it's more of a threat to them too because it's something right there on their border.
Borders. Yep.
But I don't know if Trump said it was crazy. He just said if he won before he even got in office, he'd have the war done. Which maybe he can, like, who knows? Like, maybe they don't respect their administration or something, and they're just...
Yeah, I just
They're like,
remember
fuck
that he went to the White House. Am I right, Putin? Because I remember they were sitting there chilling or somewhere. I know that Putin, him and Trump had like a meeting or some shit.
Nah,
times.
I
was
doubt
like, what
he'd come
the
to the
fuck?
U.S.
Like, so I was like, dang, why did you
I gotta
meet with
look that
him?
up.
But I think he met with Joe Biden with like once. But after that, you could tell that Putin was just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. And you know what I mean? Like for the camera and shit.
Yeah.
But I remember Trump was sitting there because I remember they made a meme when they're shaking hands and shit sitting down. So I was just like, oh yeah. I was like, if this fool can at least get him to sit down and talk, you know what I'm saying? Like it must mean something. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, I'm just reading this right now while we're talking about it. It said Russia responds to Kamala Harris Donald Trump debate. They said leave our president alone.
dang.
They're like leave him out this shit.
Yeah,
They're like we don't want no part of this shit show. That's fucked up.
yeah. 'Cause
Hey,
they were tuned in last night.
bro,
Yeah,
I seen like
we
10
were watching
articles.
that
They said that's what all the Russians are saying. They're like, man, leave us the fuck out of this shit.
Fuck y'all's.
Yeah, because she's like, we gotta stop the war and fucking. They were talking about a ceasefire, and I'm like, bitch, y'all gave them billions of dollars of equipment and shit. Oh, and then the other one where they talked about pulling out of Afghanistan, where they were like, oh, and y'all. She was like, well, I just went with Joe Biden.
Oh yeah,
And she
yeah.
was like, okay, I'll back you up or whatever. Because they left like billions, I believe, of fucking military equipment and shit.
And let them just take it over and
they
fucking.
just took it over. I mean, they should have at least burnt it, bro. Like, set that shit on fire, homie. Like,
No,
fuck
I
it. Like,
think everyone knows
you
that
know?
shit was just sloppy as hell
that
because
shit
they
was.
just got them try to get them out there as fast as they could.
That shit was
and
fucking ridiculous.
Forget everything. It's like no plan. They had really no plan.
They're just saying we're just gonna make good on the promise we made.
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna. All right, really, let's get the fuck out, like we said. And they're like, all right, we did it. They're like, we said we're gonna be out, we're out.
Yeah.
And then fucking left them all that shit there, like.
Hell no, that was it. Y'all got gas. Set that shit on fire. Fuck it.
But even giving them the funds, like say Iran making,
Well, who did they give the money to? That's what they're saying. That someone was it the
Ukraine?
Taliban that they're giving the money to? Who?
correct.
He made like a deal with them.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much just how when Osama, Bin Laden, that's how he built his army. He got money from the U.S.
for trading.
Yeah.
But they said if you look further like into it, they said Osama bin Laden his family is the Taliban too because they're married in. So like a lot of his fucking, I don't know if it's like his sons or grandsons but either way they said like, okay, well the bin Ladens are still part of the fucking Taliban, so y'all gave money to him either way you want to fucking put it. Like y'all armed them and gave him money. So I was like, to me, it's just like fucking ridiculous. But
I mean, if you really think, it's just the same with the cartels, man. It's like,
that Fast and Furious shit.
Them. There's someone funding them. There's someone allowing them to do what they're doing. Not necessarily funding because hell, they don't need no funding, but they're being allowed to do what they do to a certain extent, or I mean, just certain people, or should I say, or
I'll let you do this, but I need 10%. They get their little 10%.
Or like the guns, like that Fast and Furious when they're supposed to have marked guns and they fucking got people really getting killed with them in Mexico now. Or like, I think I don't know if they said a Border Patrol agent got killed or something by one of the guns or something crazy happened, like where they found out that it was one of the guns from that program. And I'm like, damn, like how the fuck did y'all fuck that up? Really? Like that's major.
Major.
So
are y'all going to vote? You say you're not going to vote?
I'll vote just for the fuck of it. I'm registered. I'm gonna vote.
I registered to vote today online, so I just gotta go in person and print it out.
Yeah, I got my little card shit. I just gotta go do it. And all that.
Like I said,
whenever they open polls.
And by the way,
I'm
my understanding, you can be a felon because I'm a felon. I went to prison, but it says as long as you're not on parole or probation, as long as you're completed with your parole and probation, you can vote.
See, I think they might have changed the law. They probably did because it's more of their, like the Democrats probably thought that, I'd say that has to be looked into because I bet you they changed the law, if anything, because I think it was like that, wasn't it? That they did just take it away all the way.
You couldn't, but even last election, 4 years ago, even before that, I believe, in Trump's first term, I was told that I could, even if I was a felon.
Yeah.
But you have to be off parole and probation, completed with everything. It's just like with gun rights. People think you're felon, you have no gun rights. They're changing that law. They're in the process. There's been people released. There's been people not charged because they've appealed it, and the Supreme Court has told, it was in California, told them like you're it's the First Amendment right. You can't you can't get like your car. In your house, you should be able to have a gun because it's
protect yourself
and your property, your home. Your car is part of your home. So, as a felon though in Texas, I know that after you're completed with your parole and everything, I think it's after 10 years, you can have a shotgun at home. Like you could have a gun at home
legally
legally to protect your home. Now you can't be. That don't mean you as a felon could be walking around carrying a gun with you because. No.
He said don't go do that now.
But
he said don't. No, but that's for other people too that say their vote doesn't matter, and just vote for your congressmen, vote for senators.
All that does matter.
And in the House, in the House of Representatives, the people that's closest to you that represent your state and your area, that's the people you vote for because that's the people that are supposed to be representing you, and they vote for you for the president. So. But like here it's conservatives. So.
Yeah, and they're the ones that speak up for us on our behalf to the president and to the higher ups to get certain, laws pushed in the county level to the state level, all around.
And we could be biased too, if anything, because usually that's how they say it happens. Is more rural places is like they're more Republican, and the more you get to the city, like a big city population, that's more liberal. So
you go to Dallas with that shit. Hell yeah, it's more.
More like
liberal.
Austin for sure. I know.
Oh, but fuck, that shit is.
And see, that's another thing too. That to make the elections fair is like the way the gerrymandering and stuff, like the way they split up districts is crazy because everybody knows that Austin, like city, should be a fucking Democratic city because everybody knows like even all the people from California are even moving there, so they know it's super fucking liberal there.
Fuck yeah.
And there's like no possible way that could fucking turn Republican. It's just the way they zone it and the way they fucking split it up. They make it where it happens that way, so that way they have the majority. Like shit like that needs to be fixed.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'll say it for sure.
A lot of shit needs to be fixed. But
the bureaucracy. That's another thing I was gonna say. That's like the FBI, CIA, IRS, any 3-letter fucking agency is basically like, I feel like that shit. I feel like that's another reason they kind of don't want Donald Trump in there, because I feel like he would downsize or like defund them.
Oh yeah.
Because they still got to get paid by somebody, because I feel like they get too big for their britches. Basically is what I'm saying. Like they think they can act without the president or like anybody, because the president they're like it's an executive branch. Like they're part of the executive branch. Like they put there's bureaus and power and fund them. So I feel like they get too big and they start doing crazy shit like on their own and stuff, but there's still somebody that funds you. And I feel like they need to know that, and fucking someone needs to step in and just like downsize them. Well, really, because that's the problem with
regulate them.
Yeah, there's a problem because they don't have nobody overseeing them, and then they just get too large where you can't you just can't control them anymore, and they just get bigger and bigger
You can't keep
and
track
bigger.
of everybody. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like everything, Social Security, all that shit. It's like it's most of the shit. Once it stays, and it almost never goes away.
Ever?
I don't know. We're gonna see. Say with Donald Trump, we're gonna see. If not, they might smoke him. So we'll see. Say, but that'll be for another one. Say thank y'all. Say for tuning in and
Appreciate
coming
y'all.
in.
Appreciate you, big dude.
Say we're out.